When a sorcerer merges peril and deception, the ensuing spectacle is invariably the one that scores highest on the thrill meter. This accounts for the continually escalating stakes in the stunts we observe today. Whether it's the notorious sword-swallowing act or a wacky magician performing the unfathomably absurd, you're in for a treat. Hello, and welcome back to Illusion Insider. Today, we're going to unravel the secrets behind some of the most treacherous magic acts ever performed. So let's dive in. At number 5, we have the blindfolded sword trick. This stunt, executed by Aaron Crow, is arguably one of the most hazardous tricks showcased on talent platforms across the globe. Famous for his prowess as a mentalist, let's take a look at what he did. He first invites some audience members and a judge onto the stage to commence his act involving sharp tools. In his performance, Aaron takes a flaming candle and spills molten wax onto his closed eyes, effectively sealing them. Next, he blindfolds himself using 3 distinct layers: a strip of white gauze, a piece of black tape, and lastly, aluminum foil over his head. This display persuades the audience and judges of his total lack of vision. Following this, he proceeds to use an assortment of sharp tools, including a sword, to chop objects held by the spectators. He concludes by expertly slicing a pineapple off Howie Mandel's head. So, how did he pull off this dangerously intriguing act? Let's uncover the secret. You may wonder why Howie consented to participate in such a life-threatening act. The answer lies in a quintessential Hollywood secret. Howie was privy to the nature of the act. Otherwise, who would willingly risk their life? Furthermore, the act was rehearsed numerous times with stand-ins, and the show's producers only granted their permission after understanding the core elements of the trick to ensure flawless execution on stage. The trick essentially comprises 2 elements: the burning candle wax and the blindfolding. But how did Aaron's eyes endure the hot wax? Obviously, candle wax can be scalding, and you should never attempt this at home. If you observe this chart, it illustrates the harm our skin endures when subjected to high temperatures. Therefore, any wax that melts at less than 50 degrees Celsius will not harm our skin, provided the exposure duration is brief. Here, the liquid wax in use is likely to be paraffin wax or bayberry wax, known for their low melting points. If you watch Aaron carefully, he holds the flaming candle quite a distance from his eyes. This allows ample time for the wax to melt, travel, and solidify again, a process that takes just seconds. With the wax still warm and pliable, he then has enough time to open his eyes underneath the blindfold. And even if the wax does cool, it's just a thin layer that he can easily scratch away from his face. Thus, he ensures the safety of his eyes. Next, we ask, how did he manage to slice the pineapple so precisely? His eyes were safe, and he could see through the blindfold. After all, no show would allow such a dangerous stunt to be performed if the magician was genuinely unable to see. But how could he see through all those layers? Yes, he wrapped white gauze and black tape followed by foil around his head. But there's a trick to these supposed blindfolds. They weren't securely fastened around his head. The way he applied these materials over his eyes was part of the illusion. Aaron, being an exceptional illusionist, used his left index finger to subtly pull down the blindfold. Concurrently, he wrapped a silver foil around his head, hiding the finger motion underneath. So, the gauze acted like an eye mask that could be lifted and replaced as needed. But what about that outer layer of foil? While the white gauze and black tape provided excellent coverage and were impossible to see through, the foil on his head wasn't actually aluminum. It was a transparent material known as silver window tint, commonly used on car windows. This one-way reflective glass material allowed him to see through the covering easily. He wrapped 2 layers of this tint around his head, one in front and another at the back. These were separated as he applied them around his head. Now you get it! His vision was unobstructed. He could see through the blindfold, which allowed him to execute the cutting of objects with remarkable ease. But isn't brandishing a sword above someone's head incredibly perilous? Well, it certainly is, but the sword we're talking about was a prop sword that could even be made of plastic. Moreover, The pineapple placed on Howie's head was already pre-cut to about 90 to 95%, requiring only a slight force to complete the slicing act. In addition, there's a crescent-shaped metal bar on the right side of his face, which is about 3 inches away. This means that even if he missed the target, the sword would just bounce back, preventing any injury. To conclude the spellbinding act, he puts the gauze back in its original position while removing the foil, leaving the audience and judges in awe and astonishment. Moving on to number 4, we have the crushing the box illusion, an intriguing act from Israel's Got Talent show. In this stunt, a magician named Tomer Dudai performs the illusion with the assistance of 2 elderly people. First, he steps into a large box, and the assistants cover the box from the top, leaving only the magician's hands sticking out. Then the excitement begins. An elderly man takes a wooden stick and, without warning, compresses half the box from the right side, but the magician's hands are still waving. Next, a lovely woman takes the wooden stick and begins to compress the remaining half of the box, appearing to crush everything in its path. However, we then see the magician appear from behind the judges, unscathed, leaving them all stunned. So, what are the secrets that made this illusion work? Let's dissect them. How did they seemingly flatten the magician like a pizza? The first secret is hidden within the box's base. The box is actually deeper than it appears, and there's a trapdoor compartment built into it. Also, the left side of the box has another concealed area. The second secret revolves around a staircase compartment, a secret stairway. Here's how the act unfolded. The magician steps into the box and uses the trapdoor to hide the secret staircase. This staircase is then detached and moved backstage, enabling the magician's surprise appearance at the end. Now, how was the box crushed? Another person was concealed inside the trapdoor, who then slides his legs inside the trapdoor at the box's base and positions himself with his back tucked into the box's left side. Lastly, he sticks his hands out, which remain visible throughout the trick. This created a comfortable space for the person inside when the box was crushed, and the coordination established made it a fantastic illusion to behold. But before we move on to our next reveal, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for notifications on more thrilling content. Now, sliding in at our third spot, we have the thrilling bow and arrow act. This chilling trick is performed by none other than Aaron Crow, a magician famed for his risky performances. Here's what he did on America's Got Talent and numerous other shows, creating a wave of fear among all present. Aaron begins by directing a laser light onto the judges' panel, then calls up 2 judges to volunteer for his trick. He requests Heidi, one of the judges, to remove her ring in preparation for his next move. Subsequently, he brings out an apple and impales it with a knife through the middle. He places Heidi's ring inside the apple and seals it shut. After the ring is safely embedded, Aaron asks a guest judge to stand behind Heidi. He hands the judge a black wooden tray with a nail fixed in it. The guest judge, standing behind Heidi, places the tray on her head, supporting the apple containing the ring. Aaron then walks around the stage, revealing the target object and extracting an arrow. He directs the bow and arrow with the laser light passing through the audience, instilling great fear. Aaron starts spinning around and suddenly launches the arrow, slicing the apple instantly. Not only did Aaron hit the apple, but the arrow also picked up the ring from inside the apple mid-flight, landing on the target board. So how did he manage this? To start with, this is not something anyone should attempt at home or anywhere else. The secret lies in the fact that no arrow was actually fired. What you saw was pure illusion. Also, it's evident that the show's producers wouldn't risk anyone's life. In terms of entertainment and illusion, the producers are informed about what the contestants will be performing before the act to ensure any dangerous stunts are handled appropriately. Notably, the shot was not continuous when the arrow was launched. It happened in stages. The bow's release, the apple being halved, and finally the arrow striking the target. This suggests that at each stage, a mechanism made the act feasible. If no arrow was actually fired, How did the arrow end up on the target board? Both the bow and arrow used for the act were rigged. The laser flashlight emitted from the bow served a dual purpose, providing an aim at the target, and more crucially, concealing the secret hidden within the bow. The secret resides in the bow, and the arrowhead didn't go beyond it, with only the laser light visible. The laser light created an illusion that the arrowhead was there, and Aaron appeared to shoot it when the light was turned off. This might make you wonder, if no arrow was shot, where did the arrow go? Well, as previously mentioned, the arrow he used was a trick arrow, consisting of a string with a feather attached to its end, giving it the appearance of a genuine arrow. Additionally, concealed within the bow's handle is a cylindrical reel connected to the spring-loaded string. When Aaron appears to fire the shot, he actually releases the loose end of the string, allowing it to roll into the hidden reel. But what about the arrow that appears on the target board? The arrow you see after the shot had been positioned within the leg of the target board all along, concealed behind a black cloth using a spring mechanism. Observe an opening in the cloth where the spring-loaded arrow was vertically rested against the board. Upon remote activation, the spring-loaded arrow propels out of the opening into the horizontal position. Note the angular movement of the arrow as it quivers upon hitting the target. This is not the motion of the arrow striking straight at the target, confirming that the arrow sprang out from the opening below. But what about Heidi's ring on the arrow at the target? Was it a counterfeit? No. It was indeed Heidi's genuine ring, as she would have easily recognized a fake. Now let's focus on the apple. After Aaron punctures the apple, he hollows it out in a manner that one hole is larger than the other. He places the ring inside the smaller hole, leading everyone to believe the ring is tightly lodged and can't easily be removed. However, there's a larger hole on the other side. During the moment when he covers the apple's central section, the ring is actually pushed out through the larger hole, which he discreetly covers with his right thumb. When he appears to be placing the apple, the ring is concealed in his left fist. Now you're aware that the ring is in Aaron's hand. While adjusting the target board, he places the ring over the arrow with his hand concealed behind the board and obscured with a black cloth. Yet one question remains. How did the apple split in two? The tray on which the apple was situated had a built-in mechanism at its base. A spring-loaded knife was positioned underneath, which moved from left to right when remotely activated. This allowed the apple to split cleanly in two as the knife emerged from an opening beneath it. So the entire act was flawlessly synchronized using a button hidden inside the bow, triggered by Aaron at the exact right moment, bringing this incredible illusion to life. At the number 2 spot, we have the talking head illusion. If you're in the mood to spook your friends with some simple yet impactful magic, then this illusion is the perfect choice for some entertainment. As we observed in this trick, the child's head is situated atop the table, while his lower body seems to have vanished completely. Can you guess the trick behind this? As you'll notice, her lower body is nowhere to be seen. The secret of this illusion lies in the placement of 2 mirrors at right angles, with their vertex positioned directly behind the table leg. The left and right-sided mirrors reflect the sides of the box surrounding them, thereby generating a deceptive backdrop. The illusionary backdrop reflected by the mirror is positioned on both the left and right sides of the table, making the area beneath the table appear open. The girl simply positions her head into the table and her body extends downwards from the tabletop. Her kneeling position is concealed from the audience's view by 2 meticulously cleaned glass mirrors placed at a 90-degree angle. The walls, floor, and area around the table are covered with matching color patterns and materials. It's a rare occasion for the audience to notice the missing 4th leg, as it is hidden by the mirrors. However, the audience, through optical illusion, perceives the 4th leg as being concealed behind one of the other legs. This deception is what creates the illusion of a floating head above the table. So, finally, the most treacherous trick on our list is the notorious drill act. You've seen a variety of dangerous stunts in our previous videos, but this one indeed takes the crown. The magician begins by bringing a drill machine onto the stage, poised to perform something extremely bizarre, downright insane, even supernatural if you will. He then proceeds to insert the drill machine into his head. Yet, astonishingly, he doesn't sustain a single injury, not even a scratch. He appears to be entirely unhurt. But how did he pull off such a reckless act unharmed? Let's unravel the mystery. First and foremost, it's crucial to emphasize that you should never, under any circumstances, attempt to replicate this at home or anywhere else. Now, on to unveiling the secret behind his unscathed performance. The drill bit attached to the machine is blunt and flat-headed, so no matter how he positions it against his body, the drill never actually penetrates. Some might wonder, even if the drill is flat-headed, wouldn't it at least leave a scratch when pressed with force? Well, the magician only feigns applying force. The truth of the matter is that the drill machine is designed to operate in reverse. That's why the drill bit appears to be twisting and turning the skin, but in reality, it doesn't harm the skin at all. It's all a masterful illusion. We hope you've enjoyed uncovering the secrets behind some of the most thrilling magic tricks ever performed. What trick did you find the most terrifying? And what other topics would you like us to explore in our future videos? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember to like and share this video with your friends on social media platforms. For more such intriguing revelations, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And last but not least, thank you for watching.